Walsh.
Oh, hello everybody. My God, I'm getting burnt out from all the podcasts, I swear to God. Ooh, I'm tired, guys. Do you ever get one of those moments where you just can barely get out of bed? Oh, man. Oh, I think I gotta keep an eye on my diet a bit better, too. Whew. Just want to stay in bed watching Better Call Saul or Breaking Bad or something, or Dexter. Speaking of which, I must actually do a podcast on these. Because, you know, there's a lot of psychology behind these programs, guys. That psychologists base a lot of their... movies or TV programs base a lot of their plots and storylines off psychology. Actually have gone to psychologists, spoken about your inner demons. So, like, for instance, Dexter. If anybody's seen that before, right? This isn't a spoiler alert. If you've never seen it, don't worry. But basically, Dexter is about a guy who lives in Florida, works with the police, Miami Police Department, and he's a serial killer. Okay? He's a serial killer. But ever since his dad was a policeman, he works in the police as a, blood specialist, forensics, blood spatter analyst or something, okay? And it's so interesting because his dad, when he's a child, his dad discovers that Dexter, as a child, wants to kill animals, and he sees this real dark demon inside him. And we all have a dark demon inside of us. So Harry, the father's name, instead of committing him to a mental hospital, he actually, and again now this guy's a cop, he actually uses his dark side to an advantage. And what Dexter has is a code, and Dexter goes around then and actually is as you know, his dad, I suppose you could say, allows him to go kill people, right? Or he accepts that he wants to kill people, and he's almost supporting him to kill people, but yet it has to be bad people. In other words, if there's a rapist, if there's a pedophile, if there's a murderer out there that are harming others, well then he's using it for good. And then there's one turning point in Dexter. I think it's in season 1. It's early on. And the father says, well, Dexter, if we can use this for good, use this badness for the good. And then he says, if we can control that demon in you, so you're still going to be who you are, but you use it for the good. And, you know, when you go through it, it's funny because I think, is it 9 seasons in Dexter? And I only watched it only recently enough, you know, and I think it's fascinating because this does relate to a lot of us. Now, of course, I'm not saying that everybody out there is a psycho killer. Of course not. But it does show that everybody's got a demon. Everybody has to let their demon out, whether it's on a punching bag in the gym or a run or screaming into a pillow. We need to get that aggression, that dark side of us out. Do you know? And so again, serial killer, huge difference now, of course. But I mean, honestly, guys, and it's fascinating. This program is absolutely fascinating. And I've studied a lot of psychology. And then you also have Dexter throughout the program. There's a voiceover. So in other words, he'll be in a scenario where he's talking to another actor or actress in a scene, and then somebody says something which he doesn't like, and then all of a sudden he does a voiceover. So he'll say something, right? So it can be very funny, but then it gives you an insight into what somebody like this does think. And you read the books, read the psychology books, read serial killer books. This stuff is actually based on a lot of real life stuff. Of course, not every part, okay? It's still a TV program. Let's keep it grounded here. But I'm telling you, oh God, sorry guys, I just shook the whole, my whole equipment here. But it is fascinating, Dexter. It's a brilliant program. The last couple of seasons, alright, they get a little bit airy-fairy, I suppose you could say, but definitely, guys, if you're into psychology, or just in general, if you want a good program to watch, Dexter's a very, very good one, I think. And it has been popular. A lot of people like it too. So yeah, Dexter, check it out. 9 seasons, great show. So how the hell did I get talking about Dexter? I can't remember. But anyway, okay, let's move on. So actually, guys, the main thing that I wanted to start off with today is I was talking to a guy there recently. He has a new girlfriend and they've been going out with each other for a few months. As in, they're officially relationship for a few months. Obviously, they were seeing each other before that. But now she's starting to get a bit needy, clingy. She wants to be around him all the time. And it was weird, and I think this is fascinating, because he said that this girl's a very popular girl. She's got load of girly buddies, and she's had loads of nights out with them. And he actually got to a stage here recently where I'm sorry guys, I'm looking at the wrong camera again. Jeez, what's wrong with me? And he said that he even turned around to her a few weeks ago and he said, so, do you see your buddies anymore? And he said that he didn't want to have this conversation with her because for the first month, when she started this neediness, that he kind of liked it, but then he felt, it was a bit intense, but then he let it go. Because I think we all can relate to this one, that you don't know quite exactly what's going on in a situation, and it can take you a bit of time to catch up, I suppose, maybe that's the right word, or process the information and see what's going on, So a few weeks go, and she just constantly. So like she wants to be around him every night of the week. She wants to be around him every weekend. Like, guys, this is not healthy. It's not healthy, I mean, I've had my ex-girlfriends, and there's, of course, I wanted to be around my girlfriend at the time, a lot of the time, obviously, but I still wanted to see the lads. I still wanted to see the boys, and I still had my nights out. There's not one girlfriend that I've had in my past that I've completely and utterly abandoned everybody. Hell no. It's not healthy. I mean, can you imagine, guys, you're in a relationship and you're getting to that point where you're needy and you want to see them all the time, that all of a sudden they turn around to you and say, so where are your buddies? And then actually this guy says to me, he said that to her, so, do you see the girls anymore? And apparently she froze, looked at him and said, what do you mean? Now, can you imagine this fucking scenario? Jesus Christ alive. Oh my God. And then he said, well, it's like, surely, like, do you miss the girls? And he was being very casual about it, and then she kind of let it go, and she sort of, what did he say? She shut down. She kind of got a bit sulky, and he was like, oh my God. And in fairness to this guy's quite emotionally intelligent, because he went, hang on a second, I'm not saying anything fucking wrong here. She's obviously got a goddamn fucking problem here. I've been spending every goddamn night. And then you see he got to a stage, right, guys? And this is where I would say to anybody out there, if you do get into that scenario where you are a needy, clingy person, look at it from the other end here. What happens, and I've had this where I've had a needy, clingy girlfriend myself, and I can relate to this guy totally. And by the way, I'm not having to go off women, because men can be the exact fucking same here. All of a sudden, you start to go, oh, Jesus. Okay. She wants to be around me again tonight. Again. Oh my God. And then all of a sudden, you don't want to make a scene. And then because you don't want to make a scene, you put on a bit more of an act. You actually start to invest more energy than what you normally would, because you don't want to let on that there's something wrong. Especially now if the alarm bells are going off in your head. Then what happens? Peter starts to get exhausted because now he's around her all the time. Now I'm starting to get a little bit moody. And then I'm wondering, geez, why am I getting moody here? And then before you know it, and it's weird because you get lost in this moment, because all you want to do is get away from the person for one fucking night at least, if things start to get fucking heavy. One night. But of course you can't, because she'll get offended, or he'll get offended, or God knows what, And all of a sudden then, you're thinking of other girls. Now, it doesn't mean that the person's going to go off and cheat. No, absolutely not. But then all of a sudden you start to envy your boys because they're single. And then guess what happens? You don't want to be around her anymore. And actually, even worse, you start to resent the girl. And then it gets even worse again. You start to resent yourself. Now you're angry with yourself. And guys, this is exactly what happened with this guy. So anyway, I'm kind of going off the point. So this guy anyway, she gets sulky. A couple of days later, they're talking again, and he says, look, you got a bit weird with me the other night, and is everything okay? And she goes, oh, you mean, is this about when you asked me about my friends? So in other words, she was ready to go. Gun fucking ready to lock and load here to fucking offload her ammunition on the guy if he brings it up again with her. Right? Jabbing away at him, he says. He says. And then he said, yeah, look, you know, I'm a type of guy that, and don't get me wrong, honey, I'm the type of guy, again, I'm not saying the exact words, okay? I'm the type of guy that I like to see the lads. So he said that he wants to see the lads, and, you know, isn't it a good thing that you go off and see the girls? Now, in fairness, his initial approach wasn't the best, but it's understandable. We all make mistakes and fuck up, you know, because you don't know how to bring it up because it's such a weird scenario. Like, I remember, and I can relate to this guy here, that I had a clingy girlfriend. I went, Jesus Christ, I can't believe I'm wishing that my girlfriend would go off and have a night in the piss with the girls. Like, I was wishing that she would. And, you know, I learnt as well from that stuff too. I did. And this guy said the exact same thing. Huge fucking fight. She starts to think, you don't want me, you don't want me. Get the fuck out of here. You don't want me. That is classic manipulation, guilt, bullshit, so you'll hang around. I didn't fall for that part now. Now, he said he did. I didn't fall for it. The moment I heard that from my ex, I went, okay, whoa. Hang on a fucking second. I'm not a fucking idiot now here. I'm not a sucker, okay? You're not pulling me into this bullshit. And I'll never forget my girlfriend going, what? And you could see she went, shit. And it was almost like a game she was playing. I said, listen, how many nights have we been around each other? And now you're telling me that I don't want to be around you? Are you serious? And then I put the boot down. And then this guy said, actually, he said, look, I fell for it for about a week. And then he realized, what the fuck am I doing? What the fuck am I doing? He said, and then he said that he wrote down, by the way, this is a good thing to do maybe, guys. Hopefully this is useful to you. If you're in this scenario, write down how long you've been with the person, how many nights you've spent with them every week, right? So in other words, let's say you start off, you're officially boyfriend-girlfriend on the 1st of January, 2024. I mean, this is a weird example, but this guy, this was clever, guys. This was clever. Go with me. He said he wrote down the date they got together. And he said, up to this date, today, the current date that he's writing this down, how many nights has he spent with her since then? And he said that he did a percentage on it. And he said 86% of the nights in, what was it, a 3-month period, I'm sure? 86% of the days he spent with her. He was blown away. And he went, that's it. We're having a fucking discussion. A real proper discussion now. 86% of the time. What the fuck is wrong? Now, guys, like, okay, you're in a marriage. I know I've got friends of mine now that they're in a marriage. And you know what? The guys that I still see, they've got a healthy marriage because they want to see their friends. Their wives want to see their friends. Their husbands want to see their friends. And everybody gets away. The guys that lock themselves in a dungeon in a cave, they're hiding. They're fucking hiding from their inner demons, and they're sugarcoating it with having a wife or a husband, and they don't want to come out because it's too fucking scary out there to face their demons. And guess what happens? Either they turn into a demon or their girl turns into a demon. So either way, they're fucked. They don't get away from anything. The demon still is there. You become the demon. I hope I'm making sense, guys. I mean, why wouldn't you? And let's look at it this way. If you've been with a girl or a guy for months and you spent a lot of your time with them, you've known your friends a lot longer than your girlfriend or your boyfriend. A hell of a lot longer. And what if you do break up? What if you get divorced? Are they going to be there for you? You're goddamn right. Are you going to burn all your fucking connections with them? Is this the way we're going to go? Like, Jesus Christ, guys. People have got to just try and just fucking look at the positives. Never forget your buddies. They're always around. Why not do this? Meet your buddies once a month. I mean, maybe that's a dumb way to approach it, because maybe you should probably be meeting your friends way more than once a month. Even if you're married, I don't give a fuck what you say here. Kids, different story. But if you're just the two of you, why not? If you got kids, are you telling me that you can't get 2 hours in 1 month to meet your boys or your girls? Bullshit. Absolute bullshit. If that's the case, your life is over. It's done. You're fucked. Like, you're fucked. I mean, you got a half an hour to go to the toilet. I guarantee if you have 2 hours, or if you can't get the 2 hours, I guarantee you got 2 hours to watch Netflix during the week, though. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Don't forget your buddies. Maybe your buddies are the real loves of your life, because they will be there. Even if you abandon them, chances are there's a good chance of getting them back. But maybe not. Maybe they've had enough. You know? What if you abandon your girlfriend or boyfriend or husband or wife? And then you go back to them? Will they take you back? You know what I mean? Anyway, I related to that guy there a few days ago. It was like awful, horrendous. Next one. Well, this is one. What was it? Pansexual versus bisexual. Well, this blew my fucking mind off, and it kind of reminded me of a date I had there a couple of years ago. Okay, the next one. Guy goes on a date with a pansexual, and she storms out of the date. And let me tell you why. This is just fucking ridiculous. People have got to fucking calm the hell down with this gender stuff, alright? Give me a fucking break. So this poor guy, he goes in on a date, meets her on Tinder. They haven't met. This is their first time meeting. So as they're talking, they're sitting at a table, and she says that she's a pansexual. Now, I don't know the ins and outs of how it came up, okay, but she tells him that she's a pansexual. So he turns to her and he says, isn't that the same thing as bisexual? Now, he says to me, right, I'm assuming he's telling me the truth. He says to me that he genuinely actually meant that. This wasn't like a sarcastic comment like, isn't it the same fucking thing as bisexual? No, it was nothing like that. He genuinely meant it. And apparently she looked at him, turned around and said, what? Are you kidding me? She had a big fucking fight with him. She storms out of the date, and that was it, job done. So guys, pansexual means, apparently here from Google, if you're attracted to people of more than one gender or all genders, you may be pansexual. I see where he's going here. In other words, what's bisexual? You're attracted to both, right? In other words, you're attracted to everything, right? So, like, bisexual, does that include transgender or not? Or does pansexual mean that they're attracted to transgender? Which is it? Like, which is it? I don't know. This guy clearly doesn't know. You know? I mean, what's that woman, Demi Lovato? She changed her pronouns from she, then she went back to they. Don't quote me, but it was something like this, but she definitely changed her pronouns, okay? She went from she to they, back to she, and then back to they again, okay? So even one of these people that are changing their gender names, she doesn't even know what she is, and she's tossing and turning it around. Well, sorry, honey, but which one are you? And then these people are expecting for everybody else to keep up with the news, know what's going on, and call them by the right thing. Like, guys, I'm a straight guy 100%. I'm a male, I'm a man, that's it. I'm not a pansexual, I'm nothing else, and that's fine. And by the way, if anybody wants to call themselves whatever they want, I'll respect that. I don't care. I genuinely don't give a damn. You know? But don't be coming along with your attitude that, how dare you, Peter, or John, or Mary, how dare you not know, or how dare you get the gender identities mixed up. Like, guys, I'm sorry now, but this stuff was only around the last, 5 or 6 years? 5 or 6 years. And then there's people out there changing their genders. You know? Like, again, you've changed your gender 5 or 6 years ago. So, like, are you telling me now that there's a new type of human being? Is this what this is? Do you know? Seriously, guys, and look, and I'm not having a go off people, okay? I mean, even if anybody knows me here, I even did a podcast there with this girl. I can say her name because she's on my podcast. Lisa, okay? Lisa was a man, now a woman, trans. And Lisa, great girl. Great girl. I love her. I've talked to her on the phone, and we did the podcast together. She's wonderful. And she's telling me about the different types of genders these days, you know? And it's tough. I get it. And I respect Lisa. I respect anybody else. But like storming out of a date? I mean, I can just imagine this guy sitting here and she, like, that's probably one of these situations where, Jesus Christ, he's sitting there going, oh my God, and he's probably feeling guilty, right? Because the fact that she made such a scene, and he did say that in his email, such a scene. And where do you go from here? He said he finished his pint and he went off to another bar. He went, screw this, man. You know what? I'm going to stay out for a couple more pints here. He went off and met another girl anyway that night, so good for him, boy. Fucking good for him. You know? But but no, let's look at the pansexual. What is she getting all bent out of shape about? Seriously, what is the problem? Like, I've known people in my life, okay? Now, guys, 20 years ago, there was a little bit of a thing with the Irish and English, okay? A little bit. Now, by the way, I've got English buddies. I got nothing against English people, all right? I'm an Irishman. There's nothing. I used to race in England. I used to have teammates. One of my brothers in arms is an English mechanic and engineer. Engineer. No problem with English. But there was, in general, a bit of a thing with Irish and English people. Now, I've been, some people in America and Canada said, oh, are you English? Or like even back in the day. They'd even say to me this day, I didn't lose my rag. I didn't storm out of a fucking restaurant or a coffee shop. How fucking dare you? The hell do you think you are? No. And you know why? Because I didn't have a problem with English people. Now, do you see where I'm getting at? I didn't have a problem with English people. Now, if you translate that over into this girl here, she's calling herself pansexual, yet the guy doesn't know what identity is. She storms out of the place. Maybe she's got a problem with being pansexual. Maybe she doesn't believe, but she's hoping to believe it. Do you get what I mean? Like, I'm a big believer in this, okay? I am a believer, and look, maybe I'm wrong on this one, that I have zero problems with people being gay. In fact, one of my best friends in the world is a gay man. I love the man to pieces. I am 100% straight man. I have zero interest in men. And he knows that. Everybody knows that. But you know what? I don't have a problem with him. Now, why doesn't Peter have a problem with him? Well, because I'm not into men. Now, maybe, if I'm a closet gay and I don't want to come out of the closet and I fear coming out of the closet, maybe I would have a problem with gays. Do you know what I mean? My point is this. I don't have a problem with gays because I'm not gay. And I don't see an issue with being gay. Now, it doesn't mean that if I was gay, I'd have a problem. No, I'm saying about the closets, right? They've been now I understand there's a lot of pressure with parents and stuff as well, you know what I mean? I get that too. So like people are so confused, they don't know what to do. But what's going on here, guys? You know, seriously, what is going on here where people are losing their fucking minds? I mean, does this girl storm out of every date that she goes on? Is this the first time she's done this? Probably not. And this is entitlement almost. She's expecting that this guy should be up to date and up to speed with all the genders. Blows my fucking mind. And sure, of course, I'll probably be kicked off social media again, probably with this one. But anyway, you know, guys, we gotta relax a bit here. We have to relax a bit, okay? There's a lot of people out there that have no fucking idea of the new genders and what they mean. And you know what? A lot of them don't give a shit. And it's not that they have a problem with it. No, they have just heard enough. There's been enough people protesting, giving out to people, storming out of dates like this guy. No one gives a fuck, okay? As long as they're respectful to everybody, that's the most important. But at the end of the day, if you're a pansexual, people don't give a shit. If you're a sapiosexual, people don't give a shit. If you're straight or whatever you call yourselves, people don't give a shit. So, as long as they're you know, screw this. Just guys, just have some respect for other people out there. If they don't know what the gender stuff is, do you know why? Because other people have other things to worry about worrying about what gender you are. And when they're in a bar, they're not going to be calling, "Hey Justin, this is my date, pansexual." They're not going to call you by your gender. They're going to call you by your name. So calm down. Calm down. Now, if they start abusing you, and I understand that now, right? If you say to somebody that you're a pansexual, you're a sapiosexual, and then they have their eyes rolled up to heaven and go, "Oh, excuse me. Oh, would you get over your bullshit there, honey?" Right now, if they kind of acted like that, now I'd understand. I'd understand. But don't come along to me that you're a victim. You know why? Because most people are afraid to say anything these days. And guys, most people are terrified to say anything about gender stuff now and woke stuff because they'll get in trouble. So if anything, you're getting off easy. And you're not the only victim out there, okay? That's triggered and offended. How many people get bullied? How many black people get bullied by white people? How many white people get bullied by black people? And believe me, I know that happens. So don't anybody come back to me that, "Oh, that doesn't happen at all." Bullshit. I've seen plenty of that in LA when I used to live there, and I see it here. Black people can bully white, white can bully black, white people can bully Asian, Asian can bully black, Asian can bully white. It all goes around. What about kids getting bullied in school? Before all this gender stuff, kids got bullied in school. Wasn't because of their gender, they just got bullied. It's as simple as that. Bullying didn't exist because this whole gender thing kicked off 5-6 years ago. No, absolutely not. So, if anything, these woke people that use this as an excuse to get what they want, you're getting off easy because everybody's terrified to say what they actually think. Terrified. So, you know, and then social media post I did a few years ago, I'll never forget it. It got 1 million views, and it was on TikTok, and somebody was having a go off me that about I should be up to speed on gender stuff. Firstly, I don't give a shit about this gender stuff. Not in a bad way, not in a good way. I just don't give a shit. I've got plenty of other more important things to worry about in my life. Now, here's what I will do. If you tell me that you're pansexual, sapiosexual, whatever the hell you want, that's cool. I'll respect it. No worries. Now, I'm saying this on the social media post, but what I do have a problem with, and here's my fucking problem, is that if you try to tell me that I am a whatever, sapio, pan, whatever gender you'd call me. No, I'm not calling myself that. You call yourself whatever you want. I will respect you. But if you try and ram it down my throat that I'm some certain gender, you can go fuck yourself. I call myself a man. And that's it. You don't have the right to actually say what I am. And there was the person giving me shit about this. And here is where it actually got worse. I put up this post. I actually didn't get taken down because I was very respectful. Now I know I'm having a go here, but I was respectful. But that stuff annoys the hell out of me. When people try and manipulate and push the scenario, right? Now they don't have any respect for what I call myself, but I'll respect you? Really? So it goes only one way. Doesn't go two ways, clearly. Then it's funny, I actually got a phone call from some random stranger after this post. And then, no idea, they even had a private number, but I did business at the time. I answered the phone. So I went, hello. They went, yeah, hi, is this Peter? Yeah. They went, yeah, listen, I saw your social media post. I went, okay, how do you get this number? And they look, I just have a question for you, Peter. Look, I saw your social media post. I went, hang on, which social media post? They went, about, you were talking about, please respect people's wishes about what they call themselves, or whatever it was. I went, yeah. Again, in other words, the post I'm on about, guys. And I said, okay, how can I help you, sir? And he said, well, actually, I think you should take it down. I went, excuse me? He goes, yeah, I think you should take it down. I went, now, why would I take it down? What did I say exactly wrong there now? And I even called him sir. I said, what exactly did I say, sir, that was wrong? He goes, well, you know, it's just he had nothing to come back with me. But he had the balls to give me a phone call, to make a phone call to try and get me to take it down. I'm being 100% serious, guys. And you know what I said to him? I said, you know what, sir? You can go fuck yourself. And I hung up on him. Goddamn right. And it was nothing to do with his gender. Absolutely nothing. It was somebody trying to bully me and actually try and manipulate me to get me to do what they want. The balls in some people, man, I swear to God, the balls is unbelievable. Even if I get in trouble for this one, you know what? I don't care. If I go down with the ship with my head held high, proud, no problem. And at the end of the day, anybody knows me, anybody that's seen me on my social media, my podcast, I'm very respectful to everybody. But if you cross over the line and you try and screw at me, I will stand up for myself. It's very, very simple. Imagine, guys, imagine putting yourself in that scenario where you call a random stranger, and let's be honest, I am a random stranger to this man because, yeah, he might see me on social media and all that, okay, but he doesn't know me, okay? I didn't even know this guy's name, right? So he doesn't even know where I live. But imagine calling somebody and telling them, listen, you should take it down. Like, I'd respect if he actually said to me, and he had a list, like he came prepared. If he actually had real effort and real thought into what he was going to say, I'd respect that. Because at least he believes in something, and with his belief, he really wanted to put the time and effort into something. And then it doesn't mean that I would agree with him. Hell no. But at least I'd respect it. Do you know what I mean? But he just comes off, no, you should just take it down. That was it. I think you should take it down. It's... When people try and take advantage, guys, this is exactly what's happening here. When people try to take advantage. Unbelievable. Anyway, I don't know how I'm having a rant here, man. Jeez. But look, guys, you know, end of the day, let's close this off. At the end of the day, if you're straight, if you call yourself straight, bisexual, pansexual, sapiosexual, whatever gender you call yourself out there, no one gives a shit at the end of the day. You know? Just like people don't give a shit that I'm on social media. Maybe you enjoy some of my social media posts. Maybe you enjoy my podcast. I hope you guys do. But at the end of the day, I know one big thing here. If I stopped my podcast today and there was no more episodes, you guys wouldn't grieve for 2 minutes. You'd find some other one, podcast, and you'd move on down the road. I'm sorry guys, excuse me, just a bit of a cough there. And you know what? This is me playing victim. This is me, and even if Joe Rogan, okay? If Joe Rogan was off the air right now, and look, many of you, I'm sure you know who Rogan is. He's the best podcast in the world. #1 podcast in the world. Maybe you agree, disagree, who gives a shit, whatever, right? But I'm just saying that he has the #1 podcast in the world. The biggest reach, the biggest audience ever. If Rogan disappeared in the morning, people would have the exact same fucking reaction. They wouldn't give a shit. They might and you know what? Maybe for me too. People that maybe listen to me, they might for about, 5 minutes go, oh man, fuck, what happened, Peter? Jeez, he must be off air, is he? Huh. Okay, well, anyway, what other podcasts is there? And it'd be the same for Joe Rogan. It'd be the same for everybody else. There's no ego on me. I'm humble, down to earth. I hope I'm bringing some use and, some maybe entertainment every now and then as well. I hope, to God I do. I hope the podcast goes well. But we got to keep our feet on the ground here. Entitlement. People thinking they're gods, kings, queens, princes. It's too much, guys. No one gives a fuck about what you are or what you do. People are only invested in themselves. So just lighten up the load on the gender stuff here, guys, alright? Don't be storming out on a date. Respect that the person does not know what gender you are. And if they make fun of you or bully you, well then tell them go fuck themselves. And how dare you? Because they should respect what gender you call yourself. 100%. But don't be putting it on others. Anyway, my God, see, look, I'm going on again. Fuck. Guys, I'll leave it here. Love you and leave you. Bye-bye.
Peter. Walsh.